Cancer, welcome to your Astroflower reading going from the 23rd to the 29th. We're going to be going into your chakras, your aura, and doing a tarot reading at the end. Have you seen the mid-January readings? Things are really on the move at the moment. February is going to be a very interesting month, and you do have your February reading coming out on Thursday, I think. No, Wednesday. Do apologise. You've got the collective coming out tomorrow on Sunday, and the your individual one coming out on Wednesday. Let's just get straight in here with you. Hope you like my new backdrop, by the way. It's not a new one, it's the old one, but I've had to reposition it because it was creating complications. But I hope you like it. Let's just have a look and see what's going on. Here we're in your root chakra at the moment. The only one I've seen like this, to be honest, Cancer. On the right-hand side, now this seems to be the real telltale one out of the two. On the left-hand side, there's a lot of organisation. There's no room for manoeuvre. It's how it is. This is how it is. This is what I got to do. This is what I haven't got to do. There's things that you just got to do the way that you see fit to do. But it is causing a complication on this side where it's making the water a little bit muddy in regards to your personal desires or your personal path that you should be going through, or the things that you fundamentally think how life should be led. And this could be on the social level as much as it could be on the material level as well. But it's almost as if like you're waking up and realizing that actually society here needs to sort of evolve because I can't deal with this anymore. And you know, the other side of it is that you've got this root chakra on the left hand side is well defined. There's no ambiguity about it all. It's very clear. Either I do this or either I do that, but whatever I do, I've just got to do one thing or the other. And that's the thing, and it's sort of like make a decision and move on sort of scenario. But on the right-hand side, there's a lot of ambiguity about it all, if you know what I mean. And it's you want a clarification on your path or your foundation of your future, and it's not totally clear at the moment. And I think that's going to take time to filter through you. I think everybody's had this week seems to be in a position where we're setting things up. And I think this ties into setting things up with you at the moment. Let's see what's going on in your sacrum. Okay, so don't forget your fun. Don't forget your pleasures in life. Don't forget doing stupid things like just dancing around the kitchen with a load of music on, singing your heart out. Just little things at the moment because you've got a lot on your plate by the looks of things. There's a lot of things going on as you're moving into fully on into your winter period, into your summer period. So there's a lot of things going on at the moment in your life in various different angles. Doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. I'm not saying you're having a bad time at all. I don't think that really, to be honest. I just think you're very solicited by the world at the moment. And when we get solicited by the world, that can make us feel a little bit overloaded and stuff like that. So you do need to have this sort of discharge, this emotional sort of moment where you do something completely different to what you're normally doing. So just be wary of that and try and introduce it into your life. This is really good. This solar plexus, right? Solar plexus is straight as a die here. There's no messing with you at the moment. It is like it is. It is what it is. Take it or leave it sort of scenario. And there really is take it or leave it. There's no sort of like, oh, I'll let that go. It's fine. You know, there's none of that. It's a very well defined solar plexus. So your passion is being put into pathways of your life that really do correspond to you, do correspond to your passion, and it is building up gradually a confidence within yourself to sort of say, you know, I want this, and this is what I'm going to get. And it ties in as well with the root chakra on this side, on the left hand side here. But it's so well defined. It's it's like a trumpet. That end bit there, it's really well defined. The most defined chakra that I've seen this week. Yeah, definitely the most defined chakra. So that's going to help you with your passions that are going to be, because I say you got a lot on your plate, this is what you're going to be dealing with. So this is where you're going to need your passions to be reactive, sort of precise, and blow that trumpet on that thing as it's needed, so you don't ruin everything else. You know, it's dealing with situations as they come out. The heart. Now this is heavily laden, I would say. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but there's a lot of emotions that are coming up in your life that are pretty deep. There's a lot of deep emotions that may need to be adjusted and looked at, examined gently, I would say, more than anything else. I don't think they're going to be, because where you've got the solar plexus is so defined, and where it's the heart sits on it, it's almost as if because it's so defined, it's stopping those emotions from coming to the surface. And I think it's because you haven't got time to deal with this at the moment, because you've got to do a lot of administration, got to do this, got to do that in the world around you. You haven't got time to deal with that real deep emotional sort of thing. Oh, I'll deal with it another day, you know, sort of scenario. But it's building up. And I would look in the next week and a half, 2 weeks, to really start exploring that notion of taking time out through meditation, or for a walk, or for, you know, doing very sort of calming things where you can literally talk that through with yourself. Allow those emotions to come to the surface to see what they look like. And then once you see what they look like, then you could probably deal with them much easier. But at the moment, it was a swelling in the center of the heart, which can be a really powerful vibration, very powerful energy when it's released. If it's released in a very controlled way, not necessarily a controlled way, but in a conscious way, rather than letting it go poof, explode on the world around you. So I would be wary of that as well. Okay, not necessarily this week, but the other week. And I think that whole social aspect of you is coming to the fore as well. You have this where it's almost like the heart chakra split into two sections. You've got the inner section, which is really well swelled, and the outer section, which is nicely swollen. So there's a lot of emotions for the here and now, for seeing friends, having a cup of tea, talking to other people, being active, you know, getting involved. There's a lot of that as well. And although I would concentrate on that, just be aware that inner energy in the heart chakra is swelling within you, and at some point it will need to be looked at and dealt with. I don't necessarily think this week is probably the best thing to do it. I think it's more of a case of in the coming 2 weeks, I think, is something that needs to be addressed within that sort of situation for you. But yeah, it's something that needs to be addressed basically for you. And that, you know, as long as that solar plexus is in that position there, and you're getting on and you're doing things and you're using your passion to be decisive in your life, then I don't think it's going to cause you too much of a problem for the moment. It's a little bit like if you imagine you've got a boil or something like that, and it just doesn't want to come to the surface. You know, you've got an ingrowing hair that doesn't want to come to the surface, and it's causing you pain, but it's not ready to go. And eventually it will be ready to go. Hopefully it's going to be a lot nicer than that idea, but it's that sort of scenario. There's no point sort of trying to dig it out now, because it's not going to happen. So I would just be concentrating on your here and now. I think that's really important. Let's see what's going on the third eye and the throat chakra. Okay, so this comes into the social sort of side of things. very similar to a lot of other people. The throat chakra is actually longer than the crown. The throat chakra is longer than the third eye chakra. Now, usually at time of rest, they're pretty much the same sort of length. Usually the third eye just sort of sits in front of the throat chakra at time of rest. But at the moment, you've got the throat chakra that's really sitting quite a long way in front of it, because the throat chakra and the third eye chakra is the same chakra. It goes like a U shape like that. So if you extend your third eye, you're automatically going to be pulling on your throat chakra. So, and at the moment, this is where your solar plexus is helping you to be decisive in your thinking. If you lose that, if you feel like you're losing that decisiveness, you may feel like you're getting overwhelmed by the situation that is around you. Okay, because that will release those emotions and those energies that are held at in the center of your heart chakra at the moment. And that may not necessarily be a good thing. So if you're feeling that within your meditation, I think a meditation of clarity of what we're supposed to do. So your needs and your wants is every morning recognizing what you need to do and what you want to do. Making sure that your needs are not too long. So you can do it in the day. You're the things that you're asking of yourself. That's really impossible. That's really important. You know, don't try and do things that are impossible. Try and do things that are possible. And then if you happen to do one more, you're a winner. Everyone's a winner, baby. That's the truth. So, you know, it's here is because your throat chakra is a lot longer. Therefore, we're on to communication, and communication is obviously speaking, but it's also listening to the other people. And I think this ties into that social aspect of your heart. So I would be, as social as you want to be this week. I think it'd be a time to deal with those deep emotional situations with your heart chakra. And this could be to be with relationships or your business world. It could be to do with lots of things. But it is a very deep emotional sort of scenario. But I think that's going to be coming out in probably not even next week, probably the week after that. But we'll see as we gradually go in. As I say, we might well see it, and I think we'll probably see it within the monthly readings, which will be coming out on Wednesday for you. Okay, so allow that communication to happen. Get into it, I think, is a good thing. I think it's going to help you a lot to, when you are working, that you're really working. Let's just see what's going on in your crown chakra. That's carrying a lot as well. So, as I say, it's not, you're carrying a lot at the moment. There's a lot going on in your life here at the moment. There's some things that can't be organised straight away because you're waiting on the other things that are around the world, in the world that is around you. So in that case, if you're waiting for something that is around you, put it out of your mind. Just let it be. Let it be. I won't start singing that. Let it be. And that could be within your relationships or your business and stuff like that. Let the world come back to you on it. You know, sort of kind of going, I'll put the ball in your court, come back to me, and we'll see how we go from there. Sort of scenario. So that'll free up that crown chakra a little bit, which will give you that, make you feel a little bit lighter as well. So then within the communications, within your social sphere, it will be a lot easier for you to actually sort of just enjoy life, because I think this week here is really important to enjoy for you. As much as we were looking in the sacrum, you know, there is that play work ethic that does need to be adjusted, and it's going to finally set your root chakra. And when that root chakra sets, I think that's going to happen, as I say, in the next couple of weeks. That's going to release the energy that is within your heart, and you need to be in a good position in order to confront that as going forward. Let's just see what's going on your aura. Generally very nice. There is one or two particular points at the moment which you're biting on, and so, you know, it is And I don't necessarily mean biting on or being triggered by at the moment with the person or with the situation. It's almost as like when you've got that free time, you're almost sitting there and just kind of going, oh, I wish they hadn't done that, or wish. And then all of a sudden you're into that sort of conflict. And that's going to cause you problems. I think it's going to, that's going to feed off a little bit off of that sacrum, which is going to make you kind of go, in that case, I'm going to do this. You know, and I think you're sort of whacking yourself over the head. I think it's a case of there, and this is what I said earlier on, put the ball in their court and just sit back and put it out of your mind. I would do that, and it's a very easy thing to do. At the end of the day, you just sit down, you look at your emotions, and you see where they might have been a little bit extreme, and at that point there, you can turn around and sort of say, bring me back that emotion. There's no point as me continuing like that. It's only going to cause me pain. And you can stop whacking yourself over the head. Right. Let's get on to your tarot cards. Manifesting your evident path, I think, is what you're working on at the moment. As I said, I think you've got a lot on your plate, but within the lots of things that are on your plate, all of a sudden you're going to say, I want to go there. And in order to get there, I've got to go that to that there. Okay? And you've got to manifest this in a way, your evident path. You could get overwhelmed by the amount of choices or the possibilities of all the things that are going on with you. I wouldn't. Streamline your efforts. Allow that passion to make decisions for you there and then like that. Let's just see what the overall energy is coming through on the cards for you. A little action, a little less conversation, a little more action. That's what it seems like. That's Elvis Presley, isn't it? Is it rubbing necking? Anyway, it's one of those songs from the 70s from Elvis Presley. A little less conversation, a little more action. Yeah, so it's that sort of thing, you know. The Emperor. Yeah, it is. It's like you're sitting there kind of going, come on, stop messing around. Let's get on. Do it. It's like the Emperor doesn't have to fight for their empire because they've got an empire. That's why they're the Emperor. And it's basically having that ability and that awareness within you to turn around and sort of saying, no, don't want to do this, want to do this. And that's what choosing that path is all about, which I was saying earlier on. So a little less conversation, a little more action. He's not saying a thing, that Emperor there. So, yeah. That's what's coming in here. Let's see what's going on in your karmic message for your relationship side. Revelations. I think it's a case here of you're going to realise things within your relationships that are around you. And this could be sort of family, friends, community, business partners, your couple, or any sort of aspect of it all. I think it's a case here is where you're going to be listening to things and it's going to make you kind of go, really? Do I really want to live that? Do I, yeah. The question is, do you get triggered or do you just kind of go, nope, walk away? Sort of scenario. I think this is a karmic message. So look at that. You've got the Ten of Swords at the bottom of the pack. I think you've got to realise that there's a lot of stuff going on around you. And within all that preoccupation that is around you, that it's not really worth its weight in gold. But there is that path for you. And it's recognising that within the relationships that are around you. As I said earlier on, you might find yourself out of sync with society that is around you. And I think that's sort of it. And in the past, you may have really worried about this, but now it's almost as if to say, I think the karmic message here is for you to realise, kind of going, don't care. I think that's madness, so therefore I don't care. It's not part of my world. So I'm just going to go ahead and do my world. you know, and you will find other people that love the world that you're in as well. You know, let's just see how the divine universe is trying to sort of influence this message. In order to eliminate that woes and worries, I think this is also just, it's also coming back because it's contradictory to what the universe is giving you here. It's so contradictory that I need to speak about it. So it's almost as if like that is what is swelled up within inside your heart, and you need to learn how to release it on a slow burn. And I think this week it's going to put you in positions where you're going to understand how to do that. How are you going to put this into action? As I said, complete and utter difference. You know, 10 of Cups. Happiness after difficulty. If you look at all those crows, yeah, that is that fence down there. And that white dove is all that beautiful, lovely energy that's coming up after it. And I think this is, you've got to learn not to get triggered within you. That's what it seems like. It seems like a bit of a learning curve this week. And setting stuff, this is what I was talking about. A little less conversation, a little more action. I think the conversation is causing you stress and strains. Let's just see, that goes in. Actually, I just realised that goes in complete opposite to the throat chakra. So maybe it's defining here what conversations you get into. And this is what I said earlier on, kind of saying, oh, that's not my world, walk away from it. And you can do this with your conversation. Let's just see how your guides are trying to influence this karmic message. Love is in the air. You guys are trying to sort of get that sort of scenario, you know, it's a happy time, it's sunshine, it's summertime. Yeah, they're trying to make you realise, because this is a loss of money, but we're on the relationship side here. So, and they're sort of saying it's summertime, stop, you know, you're not investing in yourself and your happiness enough. That's what they're trying to sort of say to you. You're shutting yourself out from your happiness. And, you know, sometimes it's not such a good idea to compromise, to be in a you know, compromise scenario, compromise relationships, allowing people to get away with things. And that means you can get away with things, and it will just end messy. And I think you've got a little less conversation, a little more action. I think you've got to be a little bit more decisive within your relationships here to sort of really break out of this chain that's holding on to you. And I think it's really part of the past. I think this is part of the past, and how you're setting yourself up for what's going on in March all the way through February. Let's just see what's going on, the conversation that is in you. So that love is in the air. Why are you not dancing? That's what your guides are sort of saying on that sort of scenario here. On the conversation that is within you, they're just sort of saying, come on, let's go. Let's get up and move, yeah. It's really asking for sort of movement within you. 7 of Cups. Procrastination. So, yeah, I think your guides here are sort of saying, this is not what we want. I wouldn't get into procrastination. You know, with that sort of 7 of Cups, you've got loads of different choices, but there's only one cup giving you water. And as I come back to that heart chakra, I think this ties into that. I think you can feel it in the background, and it's affecting your choices. So I think it's a case of almost making a contract with yourself, sort of saying, okay, if I've got lots to deal with this week, I'll make a contract with myself to look at that emotion in the next sort of 14 days, rather than looking at it now. If you haven't got a lot on your plate, I would look at it now by the looks of things. You know, if you haven't got a lot going on in your life at the moment, it would be a good time to examine that really deep emotion that's sort of flowing up through you. Okay, let's just see what's going on. And this is the evident path you should be heading towards. That path that I was talking about that sort of said, okay, go to there, because I want to get to there. It's recognizing that evident path within you. Let's just see what the karmic message is on your financial sort of side. Put your energy into things that are working, but there's also a degree of fair exchange. Yeah, a fair exchange, basically. I think you need to learn about that fair exchange. Did I say something about the Three of Wands a bit early on? I think I did. Yeah, there needs to be a fair exchange within you. I say fair exchange because you've got like the Three of Wands is the Harbour Master. The Harbour Master is not actually going anywhere, but they're actually going on a journey through the boats that come into the harbour and the boats that are going off. So there's this trade and exchange going on, and you are at the centre of this trade and exchange. And I think you have to have that sort of fair exchange hat on your head at the moment. Let's just see how the universe is trying to guide this karmic message. I think they're giving you a present. I think there's a new you happening, and I think this is what this preparation for what's happening in March is coming through in all the readings at the moment. It's defining your longer term goals by the looks of things. There is a bit of a leap of faith, and this could well be to do with, this could be, the Three of Wands can be a stagnant card as well, very similar to the Seven of Cups. And it could be maybe a case where you might be saying to yourself, I need to move. And the universe is just sort of saying, pick it, leap of choice, leap of faith, get in, get done, do it. Let's just see how the guides are trying to influence this karmic message. I think the universe, sorry to come back to this, because they're tying it into this. The universe is offering you something that comes completely out of the blue. Completely out of the blue. And it's like a present, like a belated Christmas. It's like you've met someone in March and they kind of go, oh, do you know what I got? I've got your Christmas present. You kind of go, Christmas present? Okay. And it's like that. And the guides here are trying to, let's just say the Christmas present was let's just say a bicycle. And you've got your guides are trying to sort out the garage so you can put the bicycle in your garage. You know what I mean? They're bringing it into you, into your life, trying to prepare for this thing that's coming in. That's almost like a real gift in a way. Yeah, I think this is going to help you to sort of heal more than anything over a disappointment over the past few years. Like everybody's been pretty disappointed with the last few years. And it's here the guides are trying to sort out the situation, trying to create connections or sort of coincidences so you can regain your faith in society, basically. And as I said earlier on, you may feel like you're out of sync of society. And this happens here, mainly across here with your guides or with the coincidences that are around you. Let's just see what the energy coming in from the guides and the conversation that is within you. Roll in, pack up and keep, it's move on. That's all they're sort of saying. Move on. You have the skills and the knowledge and understanding. I think because I'm seeing someone packing up work tools and stuff like that as if to sort of say, I'm no longer needed here. I'm moving on. So it could be a change of job coming in for you. It could be but don't forget the mastery that you've sort of got with you. And I think this is where the guides are sort of kind of saying, you know, you've got that, you know how to do this, you know how to do that, you've got that, you've got this. Take that with you, because, you know, time of action, I think, with the Emperor card here. Let's just see how the overall outcome for you is. I think you're going to learn ways of advancing a lot quicker within your life. I think this week here of this preparation and setting up within your life and being very sociable and connected with people around you is going to put you in a position sort of saying, rather than walk down there, I'm actually going to get that canoe and then use the river. I can go a lot quicker, a lot less tiring, you know. So, temperance. The opposite Capricorn got temperance in that position there. And I think this is what that temperance is all about. It's learning how to use the rhythm of life, the sun and the moon, the different types of rhythms in life, in order to get the best out of it and advance a lot quicker. And you're going to move away from all of this section here. I think this is really the past. And I think you probably just need to stop talking about it, let go of it, bit of action. There you go, Cancer. I have opened up 5 private sessions if you want a private reading with my good self. I've got 5 sessions a week for YouTubers, YouTube people. And yeah, no, that's going to be for the next couple of months, see how that goes. And see if that sort of advanced, whether I continue or not, basically. Yeah, you've got your monthlies coming out next week as well, and there will be the collective monthly coming out on Sunday. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.